A young man and a ring. One day a young man came to the master and said, "I came to you because I feel so pathetic and worthless, I don't want to live. Everyone keeps saying that I'm a loser and a clumsy. Please, master, help me." The master glanced at the young man and hurriedly replied, "I'm sorry, but I'm very busy right now and I can't help you in any way. I need to settle a very important matter urgently." And after a moment's thought, he added, "But if you agree to help me in my case, then I will be happy to help you in yours." "With pleasure, master," he muttered, bitterly noting that he was once again being pushed into the background. "Good," said the master and took a small ring from his left little finger. "Take a horse and ride to the market square. I need to sell this ring to repay the debt. Try to charge more for it, but in no case sell it. Find the most generous buyer. Find out the price and come back for my approval of the transaction. I want to get at least a gold coin for the ring. Ride on and come back as soon as possible." The young man took the ring and rode away. Arriving at the market square, he began to offer the ring to merchants, and at first they looked at his goods with interest. But as soon as they heard about the gold coin, they immediately lost all interest in the ring. Some openly laughed in his face, others simply turned away, and only one elderly merchant kindly explained to him that a gold coin was too high a price for such a ring and that they could only give a copper coin for it. Well, at least a silver one. Hearing the old man's words, the young man was very upset, because he remembered the master's order not to lower the price below the gold coin in any case. After going around the entire market and offering the ring to a good 100 people, the young man again saddled his horse and returned back. Greatly dejected by the failure, he went to the master. "Master, I couldn't do your errand," he said sadly. "At best, I could get a couple of silver coins for the ring, but not gold. This ring doesn't cost that much. You just said some very important words, son." The master replied, "Before trying to sell the ring, it would be nice to establish its true value." "Well, who can do it better than a jeweler? Go to the jeweler and ask him how much he will offer us for the ring. Just whatever he says to you. Don't sell the ring, but come back to me." The young man jumped on his horse again and went to the jeweler. The jeweler examined the ring through a magnifying glass for a long time, then weighed it on a small scale and finally turned to the young man. "Tell the master that I can't give him more than 58 gold coins now. But if he gives me time, I'll buy the ring for 70, given the urgency of the deal." 70 coins? The young man laughed joyfully, thanked the jeweler and rushed back at full speed. "Sit down here," said the master, after listening to the lively story of the young man. "And know, son, that you, like this ring, can only be evaluated by a true expert. So why are you walking around the bazaar, expecting the first person you meet to do it?" A wish fulfillment tree. One man was traveling and suddenly got to heaven. In India, the concept of paradise is a wish fulfillment tree. As soon as I sit down under such a tree, any desire will be fulfilled immediately. There is no delay, no time interval between the desire and the realization of the desired. This man was tired, and he went to sleep under such a wish fulfillment tree. When he woke up, he felt very hungry and thought, "I feel hungry. I'd like to get some food from somewhere." And immediately food appears out of nowhere. It just floated through the air, very tasty food. He was so hungry that he didn't think about where it came from. When you're hungry, you don't think. He immediately started eating, and the food was so delicious. Then, when his hunger was gone, he looked around. Now he felt satisfied. He had another thought. If only something to drink. There are no prohibitions in paradise. Fine wine immediately appeared. Lying in the shade of a tree and calmly drinking wine, blown by the cool breeze of paradise, he began to wonder, what is going on? What's happening? Am I dreaming? Or are there a few ghosts here playing tricks on me? And the ghosts appeared. They were terrible, cruel and disgusting, exactly as he imagined them to be. He shivered and thought, now they're going to kill me for sure. And they killed him. A young man and a spoonful of butter. A certain merchant sent his son to the most important sage for the secret of happiness. For 40 days the young man walked through the desert until he saw a magnificent castle on the top of the mountain. There lived the sage he was looking for. Contrary to expectations, the castle did not look at all like the secluded abode of a righteous man, but was full of people. Merchants were scurrying around offering their wares. People were talking in the corners. A small orchestra was playing a gentle melody. And a table was set in the middle of the hall, covered with the most luxurious and exquisite dishes that could only be found in this region. The sage slowly walked around the guests, and the young man had to wait 2 hours for his turn. Finally, the sage listened to why he had come to him, but said that now he did not have time to explain the secret of happiness. Let the young man wander around the castle and return to this hall in 2 hours. And here's another request I have for you, he said, handing the young man a teaspoon with 2 drops of oil. Take this spoon with you and make sure you don't spill the butter. The young man, without taking his eyes off the spoon, began to climb and descend the palace stairs. And 2 hours later he again appeared before the sage. Well, he said, did you like the Persian carpets in the dining room? Trees and flowers in a garden that the most skilled craftsmen have been breaking up for 10 years? Old folios and parchments in my library? The ashamed young man confessed that he had not seen any of this, because all his attention was focused on those drops of oil that the owner had entrusted to him. Go back and see all the wonders in my house, said the sage. Then you can't trust a person until you know where and how he lives. With a spoon in his hand, the young man again moved through the halls and corridors. This time he was not so constrained and looked at the rarities and curiosities, all the works of art that decorated the rooms. He examined the gardens and the mountains surrounding the castle, appreciated the charm of flowers and the artful arrangement of paintings and statues. Returning to the sage, he listed in detail everything he had seen. And where are those 2 drops of oil that I asked you to carry and not spill? The sage asked, and then the young man saw that the drops were spilled. That's the only advice I can give you, the wisest of the wise told him. The secret of happiness is to see everything that is wonderful and glorious in the world, and never forget about 2 drops of oil in a teaspoon.